The sun had just begun to set when Amara found him. She was walking home from a long shift at the clinic, her white nursing scrubs stained with the red dust of the road.
Omaseo, little one, you won't last the night. She named him Kini, and for 3 years they were a pair. She fed him by hand, watched him shed his skin in translucent ribbons. To Amara, he wasn't a predator. He was the child she never had. Amara grew comfortable, perhaps too comfortable. She began to forget the flick of his tongue was a calculation, not a greeting. He grew with terrifying speed. Soon, he was no longer a little one. He was 12 feet of raw, undulating muscle. One humid evening, Amara was exhausted. She had been working double shifts at the hospital and fell asleep on the sofa without feeding Kini his usual meal.
She woke in the middle of the night to a strange sensation. It was heavy, cold. She opened her eyes to see Kini's massive head hovering inches from her face.
His golden eyes weren't warm, they were fixed and glassy. He had already begun to coil around her legs, the pressure slow, steady, and rhythmic. The hug. Kini? Kini, it's me. It's Mama. The snake didn't stop. He moved with a heavy, ancient grace, his jaw beginning to unhinge slightly. The pressure on her ribs became a dull ache.
Amara reached out, her fingers trembling, touching the scales she had polished so many times.
I saved you. I loved you. How can you do this? I am your friend.
There was no malice in his gaze, but there was no love either. There was only the void. The pressure didn't fully release, but he stilled. In that moment, the realization hit Amara harder than the coils. He wasn't being cruel. He was being a snake. She managed to slide a heavy wooden coffee table between them, using the leverage to slip out of the half-formed knot. She scrambled toward the door, her heart hammering against her ribs.
She scrambled out the door, her heart hammering against her ribs.
Kini didn't chase her. He simply watched her from the center of the room, his tongue tasting the air, his body settling back into a resting coil.
Amara stood in the doorway, clutching her nursing shawl around her shoulders. She looked at the creature she had raised with milk and warmth, realizing that her love had been a one-sided mirror. You're right. I forgot what you were. I treated you like a person, but you never promised me you'd be anything but yourself. She left the house that night. She didn't hate him, but she never went back to sleep in that room again. She understood now. You can heal a predator, and you can even love it, Crowder. I don't hate you, but I can never sleep in that room again. You can heal a predator, and you can even love it, but you can never ask it to betray its own heart. That is the hardest, most necessary truth to swallow. When you love the potential of someone instead of the reality of them, you aren't actually loving a person, you're loving a ghost of your own making. Amara's story is the perfect, painful example. She didn't just risk her heart. I risked my life because I refused to see the scales for what they were. Don't be fooled.